Picture this. You're a young entrepreneur on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list, celebrated for building a startup that promises to make college financial aid simpler for millions of students. Investors are excited. A giant bank sees potential, and in what looks like a career-defining moment, your company is bought for $175 million. Now imagine all of that crashing down, not because of competition or market shifts, but because of fraud. That's the dramatic downfall of Charlie Javice, the 33-year-old founder of Frank, who was sentenced this week to more than 7 years in prison. Prosecutors proved she fabricated data to inflate her user base, convincing JPMorgan Chase that her platform had millions of customers, when in fact, it only had a fraction of that number. What seemed like a story of entrepreneurial success quickly unraveled into a cautionary tale about ambition, deception, and the cost of betraying trust in the financial world. Let's dig into the details of what went wrong. Back in 2021, JPMorgan Chase agreed to buy Frank, believing it had more than 4 million users. But prosecutors later revealed that Javice had created a fake list of customers, working with a data scientist to generate names and details that simply didn't exist. In reality, the company only had around 300,000 legitimate users. This fabricated customer base was presented as evidence of Frank's rapid growth, convincing the bank to move forward with its acquisition. When the truth surfaced, JPMorgan filed a lawsuit accusing her of orchestrating one of the most brazen startup frauds in recent memory. The scandal quickly escalated into a criminal case, and earlier this year, Javice was convicted on 4 counts of fraud and conspiracy. For investors, startups, and banks alike, this story highlights just how far some entrepreneurs may go to impress potential backers and secure lucrative deals in today's high-pressure financial landscape. The sentence handed down by U.S. District Judge Alvin Hellerstein carried weight far beyond just this one case. Javice was given 85 months, just over 7 years in prison, a punishment the judge said was necessary to deter others from committing similar crimes. In white-collar cases, deterrence is key, and the judge emphasized that honesty in markets is non-negotiable. Prosecutors had argued for a 12-year sentence, pointing to the scale of the fraud and its impact, while her defense team pushed for just 18 months, saying she was a young entrepreneur who had made mistakes under pressure. The final sentence fell in between, but was still substantial enough to send a clear message. According to the court, the offense wasn't just a simple miscalculation. It was a deliberate scheme built on deception. For the business community, the outcome reinforces that even ambitious founders with impressive resumes are not exempt from accountability when they choose dishonesty over integrity. In court, Javice showed a very different side of herself. Fighting back tears, she apologized directly to JPMorgan shareholders, to her family, to Frank's employees, and to the investors and customers who once believed in her vision. She admitted the damage done went beyond financial losses, as her actions destroyed trust and derailed careers. It was a striking contrast to the confident young woman who once presented herself as a visionary leader in the world of fintech. Frank, originally pitched as a platform designed to make student financial aid more accessible, had the potential to be a helpful tool for students nationwide. But instead, its story ended with scandal, lawsuits, and a federal prison sentence. Her apology underscored the human cost of corporate misconduct, not just for the institutions involved, but also for the communities, employees, and individuals who had placed faith in her mission to make education funding more transparent and manageable. Charlie Javice's case will likely be studied for years as a prime example of how quickly success can collapse when ethics are ignored. At only 33, She had achieved more than most people dream of, yet her choices destroyed her reputation and freedom. This downfall also exposes a broader issue in startup culture: the pressure to show rapid growth at all costs, sometimes pushing founders to inflate numbers or cut corners. For JPMorgan and other major players, the case is a reminder of the importance of rigorous due diligence before buying into the promise of innovation. For entrepreneurs, it's a stark warning that credibility and transparency matter more than flashy metrics or media hype. Javice's sentencing marks the end of her chapter as a celebrated business leader, but the lessons from her story will continue to resonate. In business, trust is everything, and once it's broken, rebuilding it can be nearly impossible, no matter how brilliant the idea once seemed.